Hi guys, I am Daniel Matthews and I am a design major at the University of Memphis, Department of Theater and Dance. And I'm also the treasurer of the MERS Society, MERS Association. So my fellow officers decided that it was not an excuse that I'm in Utah on a job for me not to do something at student orientation. So I was in charge of making a video about breaking into the department. And I have a nifty little notebook to help me tell my story. So, okay, at the end of every year, this is a little prologue, by the way. At the end of every year, we have this thing called MERS Awards, and they're awards that we give out within the department. Pretty self-explanatory, right? So last year, when I was a freshman, I got Rookie of the Year. I know, we're not a sports team, but we still stole the term. So, and Rookie of the Year is what you think it would be. The best, the best new person in the department, that kind of thing. So I decided the way that I was going to approach the breaking into the department video was by giving you new students 5 rules to follow if you want to win Rookie of the Year. And these are 5 things that I really tried to do, and they kind of worked for me. I think if you do at least 3 of them out of the 5, 4 would be great, 5 would be spectacular. I think that you'll be very good. So, all right. First rule: when you go to audition, when you go to classes, when you go to social events, anything, when you're walking through the department, when you walk by the front office, introduce yourself all the freaking time. It's an important rule because you want people to know your name and you don't want people to know your wrong name. Now, in the case of Sarah Brown, she's not going to remember your name the first 10 times you tell her. So, at the end of a conversation, after you've already introduced yourself, reintroduce yourself. It will not be considered rude if you say, by the way, I don't know if you remember, but my name is Daniel. Daniel Matthews, Daniel. In my case, when I got into the department, there were 2 other Daniels, a grad student and another undergrad. So I became New Daniel, thanks to Rachel. I was introduced as New Daniel. And in the case of Joe Linhart, she's not going to forget your name. She'll just give you a new name that's totally unrelated to your current name. It's quite exciting, let me tell you. She still calls me Matthew and David. Okay, so rule number 2. You want to prove yourself as a freshman, right? And you want to be the best person you can be. So part of rule number 2 is work hard, be humble, and smiles are appreciated. It never hurts to smile at somebody when you pass them in the hallway, or say hey, even if you don't know them, they'll be like, hey, I don't know that person. Oh yeah, his name's Daniel, and he just smiled at me, so we're friends. Great. Work hard. This is a life lesson. This is the life lesson I'm giving you. So write this down. Over and over and all. So write this down. What separates you from all the other talented people, because there are lots of them, and some of them are more talented than you, and some of them are not as talented as you. What separates you from them is your work ethic. 3? We're on 3, right? Yes, we're on 3. Okay, so rule number 3. There are always things going on in our department. Always things. And there's always somebody who needs a helping hand. And I don't know where I was going with that. So, rule number 3 is stay active, get involved, not necessarily in crew, get involved in anything, but you can get involved in a crew. It's an option. Over and over and all of you. So write this down. When you go and audition for a show, normally it's an option. Over and over and all of you. So write this down. Hello, how are you? Okay, my roommate just walked in. That's why it stopped abruptly. We were on rule number 3 the last time I checked, which is stay active, get involved in crew. And what I was saying was, when you go to an audition, the stage manager's there, And usually the stage manager is accepting applications for the assistant stage manager position. That's a great way to get involved. However, let me warn you, being an assistant stage manager is not an easy thing, and it's not glamorous, and it's a lot of hard work. So be prepared. Work hard, get involved. Rule 4 is probably, I think, the easiest rule that I have. We all work together in this department, and you're going to be working with a lot of the same people for the next 4 years. So rule number 4 is say thank you, be polite, gossip discreetly. I was going to say don't gossip at all, but you're all human beings, and I know that that's going to happen because we're arts children, and how can we not gossip about each other? If there are 2 people in this department that you should say thank you to on a weekly basis, it is Kristen and Sherry. Kristen Shoup, Sherry Stevens, in the front office. You don't know this now, but I'll tell you because you don't know now. Kristen and Sherry run this department. I know, you may think it's Bob, and you may think it's even John Mack who does all the budgeting and everything, but really, it's Kristen and Sherry. That's the true answer to life. The last rule is my favorite rule, because I think it is the rule that is broken the most, and it drives me nuts when people break this rule, and it's next to the saying thank you and being polite, it's the easiest rule to follow. Do well in class.
Show up. Show up.
It's an option.
Show up.
Over and over and over.
Show up.
It is not that hard to get your lazy butt out of your bed and show up to class. So that's all I wanted to tell you. I think those are all the rules. I don't know if they wanted me to talk about my freshman year at all. I'm adjusting the camera, by the way, if you're watching the camera, by the way, if you're watching the camera, by the way, if you're watching. The first thing I did in the department was I assistant stage managed for our first show this season. And it was a really great way not only to meet the actors, but meet other technicians and meet people and get involved, and it gave me something to do. That was great. I'm sure that was one of the rules that I said that applied to one of them. But then I got cast in a show, and that was nice, and that was great, and I worked hard at that too, and that went well. And then second semester, I was wardrobe head for Cyrano de Bergerac, and let me tell you, that was no easy feat. Actually, me and Caitlin Hendricks were the wardrobe heads, plural, because we were like, me and Caitlin were like one wardrobe head for Cyrano de Bergerac, and it was exciting. And now I'm blabbing, and that's no good for anybody, because I know that the rest of the Mirth officers are going to blab, and that they're going to take up time, and I'm sure this orientation is already too long for you. But now that you've met me, and my wonderful left side of my face that's overexposed on this camera, I can't wait to see you guys when I get back, and I'll talk to you later. Over and over and over. You. So write this down. It's an option.
Show up.
The camera, by the way, if you're all the time. Oh, that's backwards. All the time. Hello. How are you?